Hey folks, Eric here from DirtyLittleSneakers.com, and I haven't made one of my marathon hack videos in a few years, and with the 50th running of the New York City Marathon this fall, I felt it was high time that I add it to the collection. Now, this is the first in a series that I'm making of this videos. Check back and check back often. I'm going to be adding to the collection from now until race day. Better yet, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell next to it so you get notified when I put new videos up. Now, the hacks I'm scripting at the moment include this one: the finisher's experience from crossing the line to getting out of Dodge, good options for before or after race meals, where to stay if you're traveling into the city, and best places to tell your friends and family to watch so you're sure to see them throughout the course. Now, I put links to the other hacks I've made in the description of this video, or you can click that link to get to the playlist. Now, if you haven't seen them yet, check them out. I cover things like the start village, corrals to the starting line, whether to choose baggage check or the ever popular poncho option, and the best option for getting to the start line. Side note, it's the ferry, race day strategies, and some insider tips and tricks for course strategy. Now, what you need to know about the start is that getting there is like threading 50,000 runners through the eye of a needle. Add to that the NYRR crew, the volunteers, and a sprinkling of spectators, and you've got one hell of a logistical nightmare. Now, getting there takes time, so you're going to have to take into consideration some basics to get you to the start line fueled and comfortable. Why does it take so long to get everyone there? Well, first, it's the largest marathon in the world, and there are only two ways to get to Fort Wadsworth, where the athlete villages are, to wait for the start. First is the bus. Not my favorite option, but it's an easy trip there. I much prefer the Staten Island ferry, but you can see all about how to get there in the video I did specifically for that by clicking here or in the link below. Now, regardless of the time you choose to take the bus or the ferry, be prepared to wait in line. Depending on what time you choose will dictate how long that line's going to be. Now, for instance, this is what the line from the ferry to the bus looks like at 7 a.m. on the Staten Island side. And this is what it looks like 2 hours later at 9. Okay, so you've stood in your lines, you've gotten through security, and now you're making your way to either the orange, the blue, or the green village. Once you get to your assigned village, you'll see a huge line of UPS trucks. They're there to accept and transport your baggage if you choose that option. I don't, because I live close enough to the finish, but that's not necessarily your case. You can either drop your bag as soon as you get there, or drop it right before you get into the corral. Just know that there is a cutoff for when you can get your bag into the truck and have it shipped to the finish line for when you are going to finish.
Bag check for waves 1, 2, and 3 runners is now closing. If you are a post-race poncho, UPS will not accept your start village bag.
Now, chances are, if you're like me, or I like to think most runners, the combination of anxiety of being late combined with the excitement to run means you're going to get to the village pretty early. You're going to need to bring some things to keep you warm, dry, or cool. It's November in the Northeast. Keep you occupied and keep you fed. Let's talk about keeping you fed and hydrated first. Now, Dunkin' Donuts has been setting up coffee and tea stations and giving out bagels every year that I've run this race, and I doubt that's going to be any different this year. Now, don't expect the hottest coffee, but it's abundant and the bagels are as fresh as any other Dunkin' bagel. As a New Yorker, I'm not allowed to tell you they're good, but I can say as a New Yorker that they're acceptable. Now, I usually bring a few bananas and some oatmeal to supplement the 5 or 6 bagels I eat from Dunkin' while I'm waiting around. And I also bring a bottle of water just to sip on through the morning. You don't want any caffeinated drinks you consume that morning to dehydrate you. So make sure you're sipping on some sort of water or electrolyte solution. Now, bathrooms are aplenty, so no need to worry about drinking too much. Now let's get to weather and comfort. Being that it's November in the Northeast, like I said, the weather can be anything from cold and rain to sunny and hot. There may or may not be a breeze or even a stiff wind, so you need to be prepared for anything. In the 10 years I've run the race, it's been rainy, close to freezing, hot and humid, and one year the wind was so strong the hand cyclists and the wheelchair racers started after the Verrazano Bridge, lest they be blown off. Now, keeping your eye on the weather apps, it won't give you 100% accurate info, as you know, so do yourself a favor and be a Boy Scout. Be ready for anything. Throughout the year leading up to the race, I don't throw away old sweatshirts or pants. I'll save them to use as throwaway clothes to keep me warm and or dry that morning. I'll bring a few extra layers and just throw them in the donation bins on my way to the starting line.
Please place items you wish to donate in the specially marked Goodwill bins prior to moving on to the bridge. Each donation supports their mission of employment empowerment for all.
If it turns out that it's going to be cold and I don't have enough layers, I'll go to a thrift store and pick up an extra jacket or another layer I might need. I'll also wear the poncho I got last time I ran the New York City Marathon. I find them to be good for nothing other than to keep me warm on the way to the start of next year's race. Also, if I don't have a blanket that I'm looking to get rid of, I have a collection of heat sheets from previous races that I'll use to cover the ground to give me a place to sit just in case it's wet. Don't have a heat sheet? Bring a large trash bag or two that you can open up and spread out. Now, to keep me occupied, I usually walk around filming with my GoPro for whatever video I'm putting together, but I'm going to guess that that's not something you want to do. I do see a bunch of folks at the start with magazines. Now, while I'm a voracious reader, I don't have the patience to read while I'm waiting for the start. I'm way too anxious about the race, and I find my mind just keeps wandering. If you can concentrate on it, maybe that's a good option for you. I'll assume you're going to have your phone with you, so maybe it's better to listen to some music or even a podcast. Just keep in mind how long your battery is going to last, and don't use up all that juice at the start and miss out on the inspirational musical mix you made for the end of the race. If you're not alone, clearly you'll just hang out with your friends. But if you are, I've always been able to insert myself into a group for a little camaraderie before the race. And last but not least, a bonus tip. Pack some wet wipes or extra toilet paper. Now, I've never seen porta potties run out of the essentials at the New York City Marathon, but there's a first for everything, and you don't want to be caught without what you need. So let's recap. Bring some food, maybe some drink, extra layers, something to sit on, something to keep yourself entertained, and wipes or toilet paper. That's about it for this one. Make sure to check the videos linked below, and remember to subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified when I put new videos up. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
Shout out to Mike on the outside. Here's James in the middle. Mandy Rowe with Team TCS. Here's Rebecca. I see Project Purple is here.